Yeah, this is Bill coming at you from Santa Monica, California. I'm getting better at that. I really am. I told you, it takes me 7 to 10 days for me to remember anything. And it takes just about as long. Not really. After 3 or 4 days of not doing the same thing repeatedly, I'll forget it. So, I'll remember it if somebody reminds me, but other than that, what good does it do? So, usually by the time somebody's reminding it, it's because I forgot it. So, it's a kind of handy tool, Hey, I forgot. But, it gets a little old, especially for me, because, it's, like I said, it's a great out, because it's the truth. But, it makes it really difficult to keep a date. Number one, I'll never remember her name, and you know how much women like that. That's just not gonna happen. That's at least 10 days before I'm gonna remember the name. I don't know of a single woman in the world that's willing to put up with that. I just don't see that happening. So, luckily for me, I don't have to worry about it. But I don't know why that got me to laughing too much, but it did. Anyway, I wanted to text him this morning because I had a great day with I got a new caseworker yesterday. I think I put it on there that I had to go to the doctors and all that, and I spent the better part of the day with her, and I enjoyed my day with her, which is unusual because the caseworkers don't really, it's all business, and she took the time to ask questions and get to know me, I think that's important. I know it is to me, because she asked me if I wanted to be with her the whole time, which she's the first one that's ever asked that. And, that it doesn't sound like much, but the doctor will tell me certain things. And, even if it was one thing, that'd be ideal. I wouldn't even worry about it if I only forgot one little thing. But it's never just one thing. It's always more than one thing. Hey, Pups. And so anyway, that I had her stay with me. Like I said, we spent the better part of the day. And like somewhere in there, I told her, I said, I know it's probably a pain, but I said it's helpful for me because, even if it's just one little thing, because they'll tell me some of my medications make me drowsy, so I'm supposed to take them at night, but I can't. It's not that I can't. It's easier for me to explain it this way. You have probably, or at least it's how I used to run my business, you probably have like a to-do list kind of thing, whether it be written or in your mind. My to-do list, literally including all of those things, is to remember everything that you just do, like brushing your teeth and showering. Eating, it reminds yourself, but literally I would have to be reminding myself of that if my stomach didn't do it. I mean, it is that bad. I mean, it really is. I get better with it, but at first, it was, I mean, it, I can tell you this, growing up in stages day by day and learning it was a whole lot easier than having to relearn all of that stuff. I mean, it was, and I crammed it into 42 days. And you know, that's, I don't know if that's as long as the insurance covers it, I don't know. But that was it. I don't know if you know, that was how well I had progressed. I really don't know, because I know that they didn't plan for me to ever walk again. I can remember the day clear as bell when they came in. It was the day after I met one of my therapists, the one that was going to teach me how to walk again. And I'm thinking, I've already covered this. I mean, I literally laughed to myself. And yeah, like I said, boy, was I wrong. And so the very next day, the doctor, I think this was definitely related, but the doctor came in with him the next day, carrying a walker. And I said, "Who's that for?" And he says, "You're going to need this." I said, "I'm not going to need that." You could put that thing wherever you got it back. That's just not in the game for me. And so they wouldn't. They are not going to take the patient's word for it. I can tell you that right now. But the next day, I asked for a doctor again. I used to ask for him all the time. Asked for him to come back in, and I told him, I said, if you give me, by then I had had my physical therapist for walking. I'd had him for, I think, then 2 days, maybe the third, I can't remember. But I really liked him. He's from England, and so I asked for the doctor, and I told the doctor, I said, you get me that guy for an hour a day, 1/2 hour in the morning, which I was getting. And you get me for him a half an hour in the evening, so that I can, I mean, it was that hard. I'm wore out. The very first time, you know the 12-inch square tiles, the commercial tiles? I couldn't make one whole tile. I made it about halfway, so roughly 6 inches is how far I could walk. And I sat back down on the bed, and I said, give me a second. I said, I know I can do that better. He said, no, the fact that you actually did that much is a miracle. I said, yeah, right. But he was right. I couldn't even stand back up. That's how tired I got. So I told the doctor. He said, you're not going to have the strength. I said, I'll get the strength. He said, you get me him starting tomorrow for a half hour each day. And that's what we did. And they wouldn't let me walk out of there. You got to go out on especially a TBI, traumatic brain injury. They won't let you walk out of there. I'm sure it's liabilities, but I could have. And I wish I could remember my therapist's name, but that's a dream. I know he's in my medical records. I'm sure I could look it up that way. But he was fantastic. And I remember we used to walk all the way down the hall, down one story. It was 2 flights, 2 separate half flights. To walk out into the cafe. I was tired. I'd have to sit down. He'd go and get us each a coffee. I'd sit and we'd talk for whatever amount of time it took to use up his half hour. Well, I mean, to get back. And then when he was ready, when I was ready, he never waited on me. I mean, I never waited. he always waited for me. And then we would walk back to my room. Do that twice a day. And but you have these harnesses that they put on, and they have a harness and a strap. I can't remember which he used, but he was big enough he might have just used the strap. But he'd know. He could tell. He was really good. I'd go as far as I felt comfortable. Well, strength-wise, and he'd know. Let me rest somewhere. And we'd go to just keep doing it until I could make the whole loop, all the way down the stairs, back to the cafeterias where we'd sit, and then all the way back to down the lower floor to the end, up the stairs, back to my room. Twice a day. Well, when we finally got to that. I don't remember how long it took me, but it must have been, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks to do the whole loop. Yeah, I would say it took that. And then I don't know how long it took before we could do it 2 days, 2 times a day. But anyway, I didn't want to take too much time. I know this is already getting there, so I just wanted to say hi while I was clean and a little bit more presentable. It won't happen often. And like I said, I didn't shave. I can tell you why I didn't shave. First of all, it doesn't itch right now. It always itches when it grows in, especially out here. So, but I'm willing to, like I said in my other video, I made the offer to John Taffer for golfing. He doesn't have to accept the offer. It just was an offer, mostly for me, I think. And but I haven't played golf since the injury, and I had the opportunity not growing up, but in my lifetime to play golf with both Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer, and I turned down both opportunities, not for any particular reason. But I can't think of a way, if this is the last time I'm ever going to be able to play golf, I can't think of a better person to play with. So, again, it's all selfish. There's nothing in it for John Taffer except for possibly becoming part of the vending cart, which I think, again, John could be an incredible asset to the project, because it's the COVID-19 situation. It's in his industry. I've been putting it on YouTube so that anybody anywhere can make one. So having John Taffer's intelligence and expertise in just to have his capabilities with menu and everything, he just would be a great fit. I could wade through all of that, but he would just be a magical fit to it. So, anyway, my battery's getting low, so I'll talk to you later. You!